Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back. And I will talk about this book for a minute. And this is The House of the Dead by Dostoevsky. In this book, I read something which reminded me of an incident when I read something related to Nazism. In concentration camps where Nazis persecuted Jews, they would put Jews to do a task which was very reckless, useless, and full of frustration. Nazis would make Jews to transport buckets of water or buckets of earth from one place to another, and then tell them to perform the contrary task again. Then they come back to the same place and pour the earth or water. In this way, they do it again and again, and they spend their whole shift, whole workday in this manner. And now you can imagine that how useless, how fruitless this task is, and what the consequences, psychological consequences of this task are. And I was reading in this novel, and Dostoevsky also presented the same example, and I think he preceded Nazi's punishment. Maybe Nazi got inspired by his writing, especially this part of punishment, and they inflicted that punishment. Maybe this punishment is very old. And the narrator of the novel says that it is very difficult for prisoners to transport water from one place to another and do the contrary task, because they can't do this again and again. Because what happens as a result of this is that either they will kill themselves, or in manners like they will commit suicide, they will just end their life in order to avoid this useless activity, because it becomes very difficult for prisoners to do such task. Or they will commit thousands more crimes in order to avoid such punishment, and in order to get more harsher punishment, so that they could just avoid this punishment, and they could get more harder punishment, even death itself. So these are the consequences. And why does it happen with prisoners that they can't bear such punishment? Because it is related to psychological aspect of prisoners mentality. Because psychologically, we can't bear this trauma. As a prisoner, he cannot bear such a task which doesn't have any meaning in his life. So whenever prisoners they do a task, they always try to relate their work to a bigger task. If they are working in a brick kiln, so they can imagine their task is related to something bigger, like creating a house, creating a factory. So they are part of a machinery, even a small cog itself, but still they are a part of a running machinery. And it gives a satisfaction to oneself that they are useful to some extent. This feeling is very important for oneself, whether you are useful to something, some project, whether at a small level or a big level, that doesn't matter. You always want you to be yourself in any way. If you don't feel yourself productive, then definitely you feel frustrating, you feel suffocating, and you try to bring you out from this painful position. But prisoners, they don't have this luxury. They can't try their best. If they are ordered to do this useless task, they will keep on doing this, and this will crush their psychological health, and the consequences are really fatal. So I found this very interesting and related to real life as well, in terms of our daily job lives, where sometimes we do work which doesn't make any sense, and we feel frustrating, and we release that pressure by indulging in some sort of discord with our colleagues, or with some sort of fight with our family members. It happens all the time. So it is very important to acknowledge this thing. And I just reminded this idea through this book, and that's what I just wanted to talk to you guys about this. Thank you so much.